long history in the West, and while it's become less brutal, we still haven't entirely escaped it, even in the world's most advanced country. This is Pelican Bay, an American supermax prison on a remote part of California's coastline. It's as tough as prison gets in a country which has decided the only answer to crime is to lock people up. There are 2 million prisoners in America, a country that has now become the world's largest jailer. Prisoners don't even have eye contact with each other. To communicate, they shout from cell to cell. They even play chess this way. Many here have the same fear.
Losing touch with reality. Losing touch with being a human being. I don't want to make it seem like I'm having psychological problems, but there's always that constant fear that is going to come after being here for so long. Everything you do is through these doors, through these little holes. And you'll notice after we talk for a little while, your vision will start getting distorted. When you're looking at me, it'll look like you got on some of those old 3D glasses or something. And this is how we spend our days. This is, so you can imagine after 10, 15, 20 years of this, 5 years of this, I suppose, what it would do to one's mind.
Those who study supermaxes say they're a form of psychological torture.
Some of them go mad. I've seen people in supermax confinement banging their heads against the wall, mutilating themselves, smearing themselves with feces, babbling incoherently, screaming, some of them lying in catatonic positions on the floor of their cells. This certainly doesn't happen to everyone, but it happens to an unsettlingly high number of people who get placed in these kinds of environments.
So imagine a man sitting in a cage this size for 16 years. We're a people as human beings who can fly people to the moon. We're a people as human beings who can write the most beautiful poetry and the most beautiful poems. As human beings, we're so advanced, but we can't find a better way to get people to assimilate into society and to act correctly according to the laws than to throw them in cages and forget about them. I mean, it doesn't say much for who we are.
That footage was recorded while I was in solitary confinement at Pelican Bay. At the time, I didn't know how long I would be there. I ended up serving 25 years in prison, 17 of those years spent in isolation. Everything you just heard, the fear of losing touch with reality, the distortion of the senses, the question of what this would do to a human being, that wasn't theory. It was a warning. And what I feared didn't just happen to me. It happened to thousands of men and women who came home carrying psychological wounds that most systems were never designed to recognize. We now call it Post-Incarceration Syndrome. It shows up as PTSD, antisocial personality traits, substance use disorder, and social and sensory deprivation, and institutionalization. People return home suffering to reconnect, to trust, to regulate emotion, to function in environments that once felt normal. And too often we treat the behavior, but not the trauma. So we developed something different. Through Breaking Chains Mending Minds, we created a structured recovery model specifically for people returning from long-term incarceration and solitary confinement. We run trauma-informed workshops, and we developed the Post-Incarceration Syndrome Recovery Workbook, a practical guide that helps returning citizens understand what's happening in their minds and bodies and gives them tools to cope and rebuild. The lock didn't open when the sentence ended, but healing is possible, and it starts now. Hi, I'm Aaron Akili Caslin, one of the founders of Breaking Chains Mending Minds. I served 25 years in prison, 17 of those years in solitary confinement. Today, we help returning citizens recover from post-incarceration syndrome through structured workshops, support groups, and trauma-informed training. If you believe healing should follow incarceration, please stand with us.
We keep going into that cycle because we're dealing with antisocial personality traits. We're dealing with institutionalized personality traits. We're dealing with social sensory deprivation. We're dealing with PTSD. And that's because you got to see it. I think we talked about last week, if you guys remember, but I'm going to reiterate this really quickly. When you spend your every wakeful moment in a fight-flight response, your brain is creating chemicals, adrenaline, norepinephrine, and all of our chemicals that makes you hyper, that makes you tense, that makes you ready to do this. You know what I mean? Ready to fight. When you stay in this thing 24/7, your body, your brain, your nervous system can't regulate itself when you don't have to be in that condition. So when it comes time to sleep, and you've been racing up here all day on this institutionalized thing, right? And it's not laying out and going to sleep. Your body's still doing this, right? Your dreams are doing this.